It is a sight so common that we no longer see it. The heavy lid of a bin closes. A plastic bag, filled with the remnants of a meal, is tied shut and left on the curb. In kitchens across the world, this simple act is repeated millions of times every single day. Look closer at the contents of those overflowing bins. In the back alleys of grocery stores, perfectly good produce is condemned to landfill. This is not rot or spoilage, this is food. Yet its final destination is not a plate, but a pile of refuse. We are building invisible mountains all around us, made of our own discarded surplus. As it decomposes, it releases powerful greenhouse gases, contributing to the warming of our planet. It is a habit that quietly drains our resources, harms our planet, and tragically, coexists with immense human need. It is time we opened our eyes and looked at what we are truly throwing away. Our journey with food should be one of nourishment and gratitude. It connects us to the earth and the communities we share it with. Yet somewhere along the way, this connection has been broken. We have entered an age of unprecedented plenty, where supermarket shelves are always stocked. This illusion of infinite supply has created a culture of disposability. The sight of an untouched meal being thrown out has become tragically normal. This habit of plenty comes with a hidden and very steep price. It is measured in water, land, and human effort. While mountains of edible food are discarded, millions of people around the world go to bed hungry. We live in a world of stark contrasts, a world with enough food for everyone, but where distribution is broken. It is a global problem, but it is one that starts with each of us. The story of food waste is also a story of opportunity. It is an invitation to rethink our relationship with food and to find creative solutions. The journey of our food begins in vast, open fields. Farmers work tirelessly, planting seeds and nurturing crops. Yet, a significant portion of what is grown never even leaves the farm. Farmers are often left with no choice but to plow perfectly good crops back into the earth. Often, this is driven by strict cosmetic standards set by large retailers. These superficial imperfections are enough to have them rejected. The food is still nutritious and perfectly edible, but it is deemed unsellable and left to rot in the field. This creates a devastating cycle of overproduction and waste, putting an unnecessary strain on our planet's precious resources. We, as consumers, only see the polished, uniform produce that makes it to the supermarket shelves. This initial discarding of food at the source is the first and perhaps most tragic chapter in the wasteful journey of what we eat. Once food leaves the farm, its next major stop is often the supermarket. These are temples of abundance designed to encourage us to buy more than we need. To maintain this illusion of flawless plenty, grocery stores enforce incredibly high standards. Any fruit or vegetable that shows the slightest sign of bruising or wilting is quickly removed from the shelves. The sell-by and best-by dates are another major contributor to this problem. These labels are often misunderstood. Many believe they are indicators of food safety, but in most cases, they are simply the manufacturer's suggestion for peak quality. Yet, store policies dictate that these items must be removed from sale. Vast quantities of dairy products, baked goods, and packaged meals are thrown away every single day. Not because they are spoiled, but because they have crossed an arbitrary line on the calendar. This creates a river of waste flowing from the back doors of our grocery stores. The final destination for this excess food is all too often the dumpster. The brightly lit aisles hide a dark secret: that the price of this perfect shopping experience is a staggering amount of perfectly good food being condemned to the landfill without a second thought. The journey of waste continues in restaurants, cafes, and hotels. Behind the scenes, the high-pressure environment of a commercial kitchen creates a perfect storm for food waste. Kitchens often prepare large quantities of ingredients in advance, meaning any food not used is often discarded. Buffets are a stark example of institutionalized waste. The visual appeal of abundance means far more food is cooked than eaten. Due to health and safety regulations, much of it cannot be donated. Entire platters are scraped directly into the bin. Plates come back half-eaten, and the leftovers are routinely thrown out. Furthermore, the pursuit of culinary perfection in high-end restaurants can lead to its own unique form of waste. This drive for a flawless presentation means that a substantial amount of good food is considered waste, simply because it is an offcut. The most significant stage of the wasteful journey happens in our own homes. After surviving the farm, supermarket, and restaurant, food enters our kitchens, where new wasteful habits take over. We often buy more than we need, lured by special offers. Our refrigerators become overstuffed, and fresh ingredients get lost, only to be rediscovered covered in mold. Our misunderstanding of food labels is a major culprit. We treat best before dates as strict deadlines. Perfectly good food gets thrown out because the date has passed. This fear of foodborne illness has been exaggerated to the point where we discard enormous amounts of safe, edible food out of unnecessary caution. We cook portions that are too large, and the leftovers sit in the fridge until they are no longer appealing. These small daily instances of waste add up. Our home is the last stop. It is often here in our own kitchens that the journey comes to its most wasteful end. When we throw food away, it begins a destructive journey to a landfill. Here, discarded food is buried and starved of oxygen. It undergoes anaerobic decomposition, releasing methane, a potent greenhouse gas. Globally, we discard over 1 billion tons of food each year, producing gas that warms our planet. If global food waste were a country, it would be the third largest emitter of greenhouse gases. It is a silent burden we place upon the earth. Landfills consume vast areas of land. Waste can pollute the surrounding soil and groundwater, threatening local water supplies and wildlife. Every scrap of food that we waste adds methane to the atmosphere. The Earth is a closed system, and the heavy cost of our waste is a debt that the planet itself is forced to pay. The environmental cost of food waste is staggering, but so is the economic cost. The food we throw away is money, cash that is literally thrown into the trash. On a global scale, the value of wasted food each year is in the trillions of dollars. This is a colossal economic inefficiency, a drain on the global economy. This is money that could be invested in education, healthcare, or developing sustainable food systems. For individual families, a household might throw away hundreds or even thousands of dollars worth of food each year. We work hard for our money, yet we allow a significant portion of our grocery budget to end up in the bin. The economic burden also falls heavily on the farmers when crops are rejected or when market prices plummet. To receive no return on that investment is devastating, pushing many small farms to the brink of collapse. All of that human energy and productivity is nullified when the final product is discarded. In a world where resources are finite, this level of inefficiency is something we can no longer afford. Food production is one of the most water-intensive activities on the planet. Agriculture accounts for roughly 70% of all freshwater withdrawals globally. Every single food item has a water footprint. When we waste food, we are wasting all the water embedded within it. Pouring a carton of milk down the drain is like leaving a tap running for hours. Throwing away a single hamburger is equivalent to wasting thousands of liters of water. This connection between food and water is often invisible to us. We turn on the tap and fresh, clean water flows out. Wasting food exacerbates pressure on the world's most precious resource. Our food waste in one country directly contributes to water scarcity in another. We cannot continue to pour it down the drain in the form of wasted food. One of the most effective ways to save water is to stop wasting food. Reducing food waste is a direct and powerful way to protect our planet's most vital resource for future generations. Beyond the environmental and economic tolls, there is a profound human cost to our culture of waste, measured in hunger and inequality. In a world where we produce more than enough food, hundreds of millions still suffer from hunger. The food we throw away could more than feed every undernourished person on the planet. This is a problem of distribution and priorities, valuing profit over people. The contrast is brutal. Perfectly good food locked in dumpsters while families struggle to eat. Children line up at food banks, their health at risk due to lack of food. Individuals are forced to dumpster dive, salvaging edible food that society discards. This throwaway culture erodes our sense of connection. Ultimately, the human cost is a loss of respect for food, farmers, and those who need it. A system allowing immense waste while others go hungry has lost its way. Our world is split by a painful divide. On one side, mountains of wasted food. On the other, empty cupboards and hungry stomachs. We see abundance in overflowing buffets, restaurant bins, and supermarkets discarding food for minor flaws. A third of all food produced is wasted, while millions struggle with food insecurity, even in wealthy cities. The food one person throws away could be the meal another desperately needs. This isn't about scarcity, it's about a broken system of distribution and priorities. The logistics that deliver avocados across continents fail to get surplus food to local food banks. The divide is not inevitable. It's a result of choices, profit, and convenience over dignity. We live in two worlds. One wastes freely, the other lives with want. The sight of edible crops plowed under while children go hungry is a contradiction we must confront. This is the great contradiction of our time. These extremes should shake us to our core. The divide is of our own making. We have a moral obligation to bridge it. The solution starts with seeing the problem clearly. To grasp the cost of food waste, look into the faces of hunger. Hunger is not abstract. It's families waiting at food banks, parents working hard but still falling short, children robbed of energy and focus. Every meal wasted is a lost chance for a child to thrive. Food banks and soup kitchens, run by volunteers, fill the gap but shouldn't have to exist in a world of plenty. These organizations are lifelines, but also reminders of a broken system. The people facing hunger are our neighbors, not strangers. Their struggle is a direct result of inefficiency and waste. By showing hunger beside waste, the truth is clear. We're not just discarding food, but health and dignity. Every discarded meal is a lost opportunity for someone's future. This isn't about blame, but awareness. The problem is solvable. We must see the people behind the statistics. Food is nourishment, not a commodity to be thrown away. Dignity demands better. In the shadows, a survival economy thrives. Dumpster divers reclaiming what society discards. For many, this isn't protest, but necessity. Nightly, people search supermarket bins for sealed packages, day-old bread, and bruised fruit. It's risky, often illegal and shrouded in shame, but the rewards are real, perfectly edible food, enough to feed families and neighbors. Dumpster diving exposes our warped definition of waste. What's garbage to a store is a meal to someone in need. Rules and liability fears override common sense and compassion. The food locked in bins is a trapped resource. This shadow economy shouldn't exist. No one should risk dignity for dinner. Its existence is a call for change. The food is there. The need is there. What's missing is the bridge. The courage of those surviving on leftovers should spark outrage, not pity. We must build a system where good food feeds people, not landfills. The solution is within reach. Picture two tables. The first, in a high-end restaurant, ends with untouched leftovers scraped into the bin. Hours of labor and resources wasted in seconds. The second, in a community kitchen, is filled with rescued ingredients and shared by people who savor every bite. One table represents casual waste, the other gratitude and connection. These tables tell the story of our food system. Do we accept waste as the price of luxury, or do we build a world where every meal is valued? The food is the same. Our perception is different. The gap between waste and want is a result of daily choices. We can close it with a shift in thinking and renewed sense of value. The journey is uncomfortable but necessary. By facing these truths, we find hope. Solutions are already taking root. The choice is ours. Which table will we set for the future? The answer shapes our world. Out of waste, a movement rises. Food rescuers turning surplus into sustenance. Volunteers, community leaders, and citizens refuse to let good food go to landfills. They bridge the divide, connecting surplus with need. Food rescue groups partner with stores and restaurants to collect edible but unsellable food. Volunteers sort and repackage it, transforming waste into lifelines for food banks and shelters. Each box rescued is a victory. This is about community, not charity. Donors, volunteers, and recipients are all connected in a network of care. These efforts mend our social fabric and prove waste and hunger can be tackled together. It's a grassroots revolution. No complex tech, just human will. The rise of food rescuers shows change is possible. Surplus is opportunity, not a problem. These heroes are rewriting the story of food. They plant seeds of hope for a just, sustainable system. The movement is growing. The future is in our hands. For too long, we've judged food by looks fueling waste. Now a quiet rebellion embraces ugly produce. Crooked carrots, lumpy tomatoes, misshapen potatoes. Farmers and retailers find new ways to sell what was once left to rot. Direct sales, farm boxes, and companies rescuing imperfect produce are on the rise. Consumers get fresh, affordable food. Farmers get fair prices. Waste is prevented. Supermarkets dedicate sections to wonky vegetables, sending a powerful message. Quality isn't about shape. Embracing imperfection reconnects us with nature's authenticity. This movement is about more than quirky veggies. It's a shift in our relationship with food. We choose substance over surface, valuing the resources behind every bite. Celebrating the ugly is a statement of appreciation and resourcefulness. It's a simple mindset change with huge impact. Millions of tons of food can be saved. The beauty of the ugly is hope itself. Alongside the grassroots efforts of volunteers and farmers, technology is emerging as a powerful ally in the fight against food waste. Innovators and entrepreneurs are developing creative solutions that put the power to make a difference directly into our hands. One of the most exciting developments is the rise of mobile applications that connect surplus food with those who can use it. These apps work by allowing restaurants, cafes, and bakeries to sell their unsold food at the end of the day for a heavily discounted price. Customers can browse for surprise bags of delicious food that would otherwise be thrown away. This model is brilliantly simple and effective. It provides a last-minute marketplace for food that is too good to go. The business reduces its waste and recovers some of its costs. The customer gets a great meal at a fraction of the price, and most importantly, the food is eaten and enjoyed instead of being discarded. These apps are transforming the way we think about leftovers, turning a potential loss into a win for everyone involved. They are a perfect example of how modern technology can be harnessed to solve a very old problem, making it easy and even fun to be part of the solution. Innovation is also happening in our own kitchens. Smart technology is being developed to help us manage our food more effectively. There are smart refrigerators that can track the inventory of what is inside and send reminders to our phones when food is about to expire. There are apps that help us plan our meals based on the ingredients we already have, preventing us from buying duplicates. Other tools provide guidance on how to properly store different types of food to maximize their freshness. These technologies act as a personal assistant, helping us to be more mindful and less wasteful in our daily lives. These technological seeds of hope empower individuals. They make it easier for people to take action and see the immediate results of their choices. They democratize the fight against food waste, proving that you do not need to be part of a large organization to have an impact. Whether it is rescuing a meal from a local cafe with a tap on a screen, or using an app to plan a zero-waste weekly menu, innovation is giving us new tools. It is helping us to build a smarter, more connected, and less wasteful food system, one meal at a time. The most profound and lasting change begins with education. To build a future free from the paradox of waste and hunger, we must plant the seeds of awareness in the minds of the next generation. Schools around the world are beginning to recognize their vital role in this mission. They are incorporating lessons about food waste into their curriculum, teaching children from a young age about the journey of their food. Students learn where food comes from, the resources required to produce it, and the environmental consequences of throwing it away. These are lessons that go far beyond the textbook. Many schools are creating hands-on learning experiences. School gardens have become living classrooms, where children plant seeds, tend to crops, and harvest their own vegetables. They learn firsthand that carrots are not always perfectly straight, and that tomatoes come in all shapes and sizes. This direct connection to the growing process fosters a deep sense of respect and appreciation for food. Some schools take it a step further, setting up their own composting systems. Students learn to sort their lunch scraps, turning what was once waste into rich, nutritious soil for their garden. These programs teach more than just environmental science. They teach life skills. Children learn about healthy eating, cooking, and how to use all parts of an ingredient. They take these lessons home, influencing the habits of their families. A child who has nurtured a plant from seed to fruit is far less likely to waste that food. A child who understands composting sees a banana peel not as garbage, but as a future resource. By empowering children with this knowledge, we are creating a generation of mindful consumers and environmental stewards who will carry these values into adulthood. The classroom is a powerful incubator for change. The lessons learned there ripple outwards, into homes and into the wider community. When a school embraces a culture of sustainability, it becomes a beacon of hope. It demonstrates that change is not only possible, but is already happening. By teaching our children to value their food, to question waste, and to seek creative solutions, we are making the most important investment of all. We are sowing seeds of hope that will blossom for generations to come, creating a future where food is cherished, not discarded. The story of food waste is a contradiction. Overflowing bins in a world of empty stomachs. It carries immense environmental, economic, and human costs. We see perfect food left to rot on farms and in our kitchens, a stark contrast to desperate need. But this isn't the end. There's a path illuminated by hope, courage and innovation. The future of food rests with us, in every choice we make. Do we continue down the path of waste, or choose mindfulness and gratitude? Small decisions multiplied can transform our world. Let's value every meal, respect farmers, and ensure surplus food reaches those in need. Let's educate our children to cherish food. This future is possible, built on the work of food heroes. It starts today at our tables.